Hello everybody and welcome to another Premodern video. Today we're going to be playing a very spicy deck with of my very many favorite cards that I have in Premodern, the hardest one to build around. So let's check it out. We're talking about Wildfire, and this deck is actually a brew by a good friend of mine, Phil Lorraine, who has been kind enough to support my content by making a donation. Thank you so much, Phil, once again. This is a card that I have tried to play in the past, and it's very hard to build around, but I really like what Phil has come up with here. So Wildfire is actually a World's Championship winning deck list, if I'm not mistaken, by the one and only Kai Bude. That deck was built around Wildfire and playing a bunch of artifacts, in this case Fire Diamond and Sky Diamond, as well as Thran Dynamo. And then you play Covetous Dragon or some other sticky threat like Shard Phoenix and Masticore. And the idea is to wipe the board and your opponent's, including your opponent's land, with a Wildfire. The spin that this version of the deck has is that it actually has some decent interaction in Mana Leak, Miscalc, as a way to force the Wildfire through and interact early with the opponent with Lightning Bolt and stuff. And then it has card advantage, which is something that decks like this usually don't have, and you are pretty much stuck with whatever you're drawing off the top. Well, this deck actually has some number of Gushes, Factor Fictions, and Impulse to set things up, which can prove to be quite nice. We have a main deck Savos Web because if your opponent has Wastelands and stuff, you definitely don't want to see that. So a main deck Savos Web is nice, and I could see maybe playing one more copy in the sideboard potentially or something like that, but I do like what Phil has come up with here. The spicy thing is the Gushes, right? Which is one of the first things that has come to my attention as soon as I took a look at the list, because you are kind of a base red deck, but that wants to play basic islands. So, and this is like the beautiful thing about Gush in Premodern, right? Like the fact that we don't have access to dual lands with types means that Gush needs to tap 2 islands. However, one way that this deck gets around this downside, obviously we're playing a bunch of islands, but also we're playing a bunch of mana rock. So making it all the way to 5 mana, especially with Thran Dynamo, does not seem crazy at all. And then you can just, on your opponent's end step, Gush just by paying 5 mana. Also, balancing 2 islands seems very nice when you're trying to set up a Wildfire. So that's also another kind of synergy that's going on here. I really like the look of this deck, and it looks much better than anything that I have tried with Wildfire in the past. So very excited to take it out for a spin. So join me as we try this one out, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button while you're at it. Here we go with the first round. So if we're playing against a creature deck, this hand sounds pretty great. Let's keep it and see what's up, but I think that this may work out pretty poorly for us if my opponent's playing any deck that does not care about Lightning Bolt and stuff. Basic Forest is kind of what we want to see, but that's like not what we want to see, so we're playing against Enchantress. I mean, Wildfire is pretty decent against Enchantress, I guess. I guess I'm going to play the island because we may draw Gush, and these Lightning Bolts are not going to be doing anything at all, so if my opponent has a very good like starting hand, I don't even think that I'm going to be playing this game anymore. I guess I do need to make sure that I have double Shivan Reef or double red mana in play by the time the Thran Dynamo comes down, so that if I do top deck Wildfire, I can cast it immediately. Opponent plays another land. We're pretty scared to see an Enchantress effect here. Yep, there it goes. Not much I can do about that one. They have the Wild Growth. I think I may actually scoop here. I don't think there's anything I can do to beat this. So I think I'd rather, I guess I'm going to show my opponent another island, and then we'll see how good their upcoming turn is. But I suspect that I'm going to be just conceding here to... Okay, they have a second Enchantress effect. I think this is enough. I'm just going to concede. We're not going to be able to win this game anymore. We're just going to be drawing too many cards. But the nice thing is that they don't know what we're doing. So we get to bring in these Pyroclasms, got these terrible Lightning Bolts. Hibernation and Anarchy are interesting. Annuls we want, and that's about it. I don't think that we really want to be like furnacing. Let's cut the Masticore. Do like the counter. Oh, the Savos Web can go. I do like the counter magic. Fire Ice, I guess, is the other cut. And everything else looks reasonable. One thing I didn't mention in the deck tech was how nice Mox Diamond seems here. Like, it's very innocuous. There's just a singleton copy, but this is meant to be something that you do after you have cast your Gush. Like, this is not a turn 1 Mox Diamond deck. This is like a turn 4 or 5 Mox Diamond deck, where you like cast your Gush and then you pitch one of those islands to the Mox, and then you take it from there. So definitely very interesting. I do suspect that my opponent's now gonna be bringing in like a bunch of like Sanded Swarms and stuff, which I'm totally fine with. Sure, they're gonna take like 3 or 5 cards of us, I guess. These are not gonna work. But then we're gonna be able to like clean up with Pyroclasm and stuff like that. I do think we may want maybe 1 or 2 more copies of Pyroclasm, because sure, our deck is built around the Sweeper and we have access to the Shard Phoenixes as well. But 5 mana against the decks where you want to be casting Pyroclasm is no small feat, especially against like goblins and stuff, which are going to be porting and like naturalizing or mana rocks and whatnot. That is something to consider for sure. We're on the play now. This hand is very sketchy. I think I'm going to mulligan. If we find any land, we're going to be in good shape, but another 1-lander with the Sky Diamond. Yeah, it's not looking great. Okay. This one I can probably keep. Gonna bottom the Anarchy, and I guess the Dragon. I guess this Dragon can represent. But we're gonna need more artifacts, right? So I'm just gonna do this, I think. Turn 1 Sky Diamond's pretty sexy though. Our deck's impossibility with dealing. There's another Covetous Dragon. Our impossibility to deal with permanents such as enchantments is something to keep in mind though. I would imagine this matchup is not great. There's an argument for main phase impulsing there, because we may find like a Fire Diamond or something, but I don't think so. Wild Growth first into Seal of Cleansing. Yeah, that sucks a little bit. Once again, I could impulse into something like a blue source or whatever, but we have double Ancient Tomb, so Factor Fiction's nice though. Untap, another Sky Diamond. Sure. So I guess we're gonna Sky Diamond and we're probably gonna like Foff now. Opponent does not pitch the Seal of Cleansing to blow up our diamond. There's a Sanded Swarm, which we anticipated. Opponent has only 2 cards here, so I'm gonna float a mana here, and I think they're just going to like jam, but I cannot just pass the turn. I need to do this thing. It's a very sexy looking Wildfire there. A little bit short on red mana. So I guess if I were my opponent, I would split the red cards versus the 3 lands. And I guess when they do that, I'm going to keep the red mana, unfortunately. If they split like this, then I'm just going to play out the Shard Phoenix. Play out the Covetous Dragon, I mean. Dragon is obviously a faster clock, and it makes it so my opponent has 1 turn to resolve stuff. Yep, definitely going to take this pile. We'll see what they resolve here. Another Seal of Cleansing. So I guess we're not going to be able to play the Covetous Dragon. They just immediately pop. I guess that's a fine pickup. So let's play Shard Phoenix, send the turn back. So my opponent's gonna have 1 turn to activate the Sanded Swarm. This Phoenix is kind of very valuable though, so I don't think I can really afford to sack it to kill this Swarm. Maybe I'm supposed to, I don't know. Let's see what my opponent's gonna do here. I just let it go. Makes sense to me. So now we get to hold up counter magic. Impulse is something. So I guess I just send the turn back. We're at 9. I could attack for 2, which is notable because Covetous Dragon actually kills with 6 damage at a time. So I think I'm just going to attack for 2, and then I'm just going to kill the Sanded Swarm at the beginning of combat. Definitely need some mana rocks here. Beginning of combat, we're going to pop Shard Phoenix. Oh, non-flying? Whoops. Well, I guess you gotta read the card, huh? There's a Fire Diamond. Well, I can see the bad things that people are gonna say about me. But there's the Fire Diamond. How does these do damage to non-flying creatures? I played against this card all through Parfait being legal, and somehow this never came up. Pretty crazy. I guess... Do I Hibernation here? I guess I'm gonna let this happen. So the reason to Hibernation on my turn is so I balance the Guile and they don't get it for a turn. This is 7 mana that I have access to here. So I could Hibernation now and then force my opponent to redeploy. I think I'm gonna do that. We're at 5, by the way. There's a presence. So I guess this turn I deploy the dragon, and next turn the fires get wild. I guess I still need to draw land. It's not even... they can also like destroy my fire diamond and my covetous dragon dies. Yeah, maybe this was a bad line. Maybe I'm supposed to just cast Impulse. The problem is these ancient tombs are just killing me. These tombs have not been good. I was thinking that adding an extra Crosses Catacombs could be interesting, but this does not look good. Opponent plays a Wild Growth, then they fetch Seal of Cleansing. Yeah, I'm gonna pack it in here. Yeah, these ancient tombs have been pretty sketchy. Also, yeah, I made like a crucial mistake, but I don't think this changed anything, if I'm being honest. Anyway, we will play the next match. Here we go for round number 2. Double island, double fire diamond. His hand is pretty slow, but maybe it's fine. Basic plains into Phyrexian Furnace. So far so good. There we go. Play my island, pass the turn. Caves of Koilos, Duress. I guess this is like black-white control. They're playing Therapy, that's gonna be pretty rough for me. But also this seems like a pretty bad Covetous Dragon matchup anyway. Take the Dynamo, reasonable. They activate Furnace, which honestly I'm not even sure if that's correct there. Because like now they know that this Furnace is worthless, so they should probably just cycle it, get the card out of it. 3 mana for a Morph. Impulse. I'm gonna Impulse for a land. Yep, this Lightning Bolt would be nice, but can't cast it anyway. I mean, I guess Covetous Dragon lines up pretty nicely against Exalted Angel. Oh, they're playing Tainted Field. Yeah, this card is not very good in this deck for this reason that we see right here. So they flip the Angel and serve. Well, I guess here's the Dragon. If we draw Gush, that'd be pretty nice. So now it's only Swords to Plowshares because Wrath of God kills my opponent's Angel. So they do have the swords though. Gonna drop a second dragon, I guess. Still looking for Gush though. Still hoping and dreaming of Gush. It's an island, which we will promptly play. Another Angel. They knew about it. They finally cycle. Yeah, they should have. So, because now they exile their own card, which can be a big deal because of Skeletal Scrying. That's one less card that they get to draw. The Daspol's not looking particularly great here. They're just hard casting another Angel. They are. We could serve here, but it doesn't really work particularly well. Guess I'm just gonna play this Shard Phoenix. Now we just stare at each other for a bit. So Wildfire is not particularly good. Really hoping my opponent doesn't draw a Swords to Plowshares. Angel number 3. Damn. And we have learned that this doesn't damage angels. So I can't sack this and then play Wildfire. Unfortunate. Very unlucky that this doesn't damage flyers. We're hoping to draw like Factor Fiction here, stuff like that. We're really hoping to continue dodging Swords to Plowshares. Because the second that card comes down, it's turn 8 and Tainted Field. Still tapping for colorless. Strongly advise against registering this card. Especially in a deck that wants to have... Okay, yeah, that's... Again, this is a situation where my opponent could have drawn one more card. So let's see if that comes up. The black-white control is deceptively tricky. That's a good draw. So let's go blue, red, Factor Fiction. It's Miscalc not doing much here. This may be a Gush against the rest kind of split. I'm gonna keep this file. The one that has cards that I can cast. So let's Gush. Another Foth. I'm gonna play a Mox, Pitch Island. I guess I might as well play the other island. Play Fire Diamond, and then I'm just gonna pass the turn. And we continue hoping to dodge the card that beats me. We are in a spot where we could draw another Wildfire, and we can cast them both and clear the board completely, leaving me with a bunch of mana. I think my opponent has a Vindicate, probably. That's why they're tanking here. 18 cards in, still no swamp. Bane of the Living, hard cast. You got it. End step, Foth again. Ooh, another dragon. That's nice. Probably taking whichever pile they put the dragon in. Ah, interesting. So now what? This Lightning Bolt is kind of doing stuff. Is it doing more stuff than the dragon is? Probably not. They already use the Swords to Plowshares. Bolt is highest. And Bolt and like all these cards are like the highest reward. I think I'm taking the dragon. Question is whether I cast it. Wow. Now that's a sick draw. So now we get to Wildfire plus ping and ping. I'm pretty incentivized to do this right now. because my opponent can find the duress, and that would be an issue. So I guess I'm gonna swing with Shard Phoenix first, and then we're just gonna cast the Wildfire. 4 damage to everything, fire the 2 worse looking ones. And now we are 1-on-1 to an Exalted Angel and Covetous Dragon. My opponent's down with only 4 cards. So JR's Verdict's probably a good draw for them. They just scoop. That kind of worked out. I was scared for a second there. Kind of want... Do I want Gilded Dragon? I definitely want Anarchy. Probably want the Furnaces. We were lucky my opponent never found the dragon, but I don't think that's going to happen again. And then Gilded Drake is pretty interesting. Sure. That sounds fun. Let's do Gilded Drake. So Shard Phoenix, I guess it still kills the tokens. So I guess I'm probably incentivized to keep this. And Saba's Web is like a nice enabler for the dragon, which is cool. The leaks and miscalcs don't look great here against the lots of mana discard spell deck. But I think I'm just gonna cut those and maybe cut a Lightning Bolt. We did see Bane of the Living, which is a sweet card. I think that card's very good in black-white. I mean, I think that card's very good, period, in every deck. Masticore's a little bit iffy. It is a way to end the game. Yeah, Masticore's gonna go. Is it better than Bolt? I guess Bolt allows me to kill the Angel early. Nah, that's terrible. Let's leave the Masticore. Let's go with this. Maybe I should have the Miscalc. This hand looks pretty decent. Let's keep it. Turn 1 Plains, turn 1 Furnace, Enlightened Tutor for Circular Protection Red. Sounds good. Yeah. Sure, this stops, I guess, my dragon from killing them. There's more. Probably gonna just fire that. Ancient Tomb. Yeah, unfortunately I need to kill this right now. Because if my opponent flips next turn, that's awkward. I guess I'm gonna play the island. Oh, I guess I should have played the red, because I don't have level red right now. I guess I'm gonna discard the wild. I'm just gonna discard both of these. Do we want to impulse right now? Is there anything we're... No, I don't think there's anything we're casting immediately if we draw. With only 3 mana. Duress. Okay, I'll let that resolve. I have to imagine they take the Wildfire here. Definitely a mistake. I was thinking of I can draw Gush. That's why I wanted to make sure I have 2 islands. But maybe having second red matters more. It's pretty hard to tell. I don't think I like any of these cards, so I'm just gonna impulse. Let's get rid of that. Just impulse again. Another Furnace. I guess I'll take the Thran Dynamo. I'm looking for Gush right now. Probably our best draw by a lot. So now we do have double red, which is nice. Should have main phase exiled with Furnace, by the way. Vindicate my Furnace. Okay. And I pitch there and I'm gonna exile. That's a really good exchange for me. So whatever my opponent has in hand, it's enabling the Furnace. This island, though, not a very good draw. That's potentially something. Fact or Fiction. Or Wildfire. We could Wildfire right now. Bring my opponent back to the Stone Age. If we do that, we have nothing, though. I think I'm just gonna off. We do have a lot of mana here. Yep. So I guess I split both Wildfires versus everything else. And now we know that Wildfire's at the bottom of the deck because we just bottomed it with the Impulse. Just gonna like this? Really? Yeah, I'll take this pile. So we only have 4 mana here, so I'm just gonna send the turn back and hope my opponent doesn't top deck Duress. They do have Duress. Okay. Let's Gush in response. We already have a gazillion mana anyway, so they're probably gonna take the Wildfire. It's not like anything else does anything anyway. That's 3 Wildfires down and 1 at the bottom of the deck, so I guess we're not gonna be Wildfiring anytime soon. Another Gush. Let's lead on Web. Let's play a land. And I guess we're going to pass the turn and we're just going to cast a Gush on my opponent's end step. Verdict. Sure, take this Ancient Tomb and this Island. They're yours. Opponent had a casual 32. Cast Gush. The stupid Shard Phoenix there. Do I want to cast Anarchy now? Don't think so. Let's pass the turn. Can Gush if we need to. I guess the Masticore is also in the bottom of the deck. So I may just have to Anarchy, I guess. I imagine they're just gonna cop here. I guess I do have to start closing this game out. I already have an answer to what's his name to the Angel. I'm just gonna Anarchy here, play another Fire Diamond, send the turn back. I'm just gonna get to draw some cards here. Pretty good for them, which explains, of course, why they Vindicated before. That's huge, actually. They only drew 3 because they spent a mana to Shard Phoenix to stop the Shard Phoenix from dealing 2. So they were at 32 as well. They should have definitely taken the 2 damage. They drew one less card because of it now. More sky diamonds. Let's draw something here. How about more diamonds? So many diamonds. I guess I'm gonna hold on to the lands. I do like that now Phoenix is kind of unkillable. They play an angel, I'm just gonna steal it. Same thing with a dragon. Actually, it may be better for me to steal the dragon than an angel. I guess my best draw is what? Like Masticore? It's in the bottom of the deck though. Another fire diamond. Okay. They're getting to the point where they can just hard cast Decree at this point, which I definitely do not want to see. They're just drawing a card and passing the turn. I think they're sandbagging Wrath to kill my Covetous Dragon. Do I just play into it? Because they're doing nothing. They're not cycling their own dragon. They may have Swords to Plowshares as well. Okay, there's Plow. Not much to do. Enlightened Tutor again. For Sacred Ground? Sure. This is pretty good though. Now they're gonna draw 4 with another Scrying. Yeah, we spend too much time spinning our wheels. Our board state is very impressive. Draw 4, not bad. Sacred Ground resolves. Mox Diamond. That's a card. It's not looking promising. I will say that this is not looking particularly promising right now. Another Dargon. Swing. There's this one now. There's not really much I can do here. Just gotta play my cards. Vindicate my dragon. Rude. Very rude. I wonder if they are not playing the dragon. Eternal Dragon. Maybe. They have to be sandbagging Decree to make angels. Factor Fiction is not bad. Guess I main face. It's a lot of lands. We're getting to the bottom of the deck. That's where the juicy stuff is. This Lightning Bolt is somewhat concerning for them. So we only have 6 damage that we can deal directly. I think I'm gonna keep the Lightning Bolt actually. This may be wrong, but Bolt is threatening quite a bit here. Vindicate. That's a good exchange for me. Destroy my Dynamo. Also resolves. Another Aura. And we're gonna set a stop on my upkeep. I guess I should be playing these lands, maybe. Let's get back the Phoenix. Play an island. Cast this Phoenix. And send the turn back. Gerard's Verdict. I guess I'm gonna discard the Mox and one of these Shion Reefs. They gain 3, which sucks. That's a turn and a half. But I don't know what they have, man. What do they have? Exalted Angel. Yeah, that one's cool. That one is cool. No cards in hand. Play Gilded Drake. Steal that one. I guess I'm gonna bolt the Drake. Send in for 2 again. This is a 2-turn clock, so my opponent has 2 turns to draw something. Decree probably wins. The rest does not. My hand's terrible. Haha, joke's on you. Holding on to these lands for like Mastic or Perverts, I guess. It's another dragon. So we're still kind of dead to Decree of Justice, but at least we can. So we lose to probably Wrath of God, but at least right now we have Gerard's Verdict covered and we have Eternal Dragon covered, and they drew another lane, so we win. Game 3, and we got there. Pretty cool. We got there. We got very lucky. Like Eternal Dragon or Decree would have been brutal, but yeah. All right, see you for the next one. Round number 3. This hand, I guess it's decent. Man, it's so brutal that Fire Diamonds enter tapped. Blue-white. Seal of Cleansing. I think I'm still going to play out the Fire Diamond here. There's nothing I want to counter next turn. And this makes it so my opponent is not threatening Tide. They let me untap. Interesting. Okay, let's play another Fire Diamond and send the turn back. They fetch on end step. So this is Replenish, maybe? It is Replenish. It's mana like that. Now we untap. Sky Diamond. Let's Impulse first. Fire Ice, an island. Covetous Dragon. I don't think I want an island, really. Kind of more interested in Sky Diamond, to be honest. Let's go for Sky Diamond. Play a couple of some more diamonds. It's pretty funny that like we kind of don't care about Parallax Tide at all here. Another Tide. Because now we can just Gush, which is funny. Alright, so what to do here? I guess I want to sacrifice this Shivan Reef just so that I can double spell. This puts the Sky Diamond in play, where it's safer. Fading Counter goes down. Ancient Tomb. They fetch. I guess Wildfire would be kind of nice here. They're doing the thing now. I'll Gush. Save my islands. Now this is just a 2 for 2. Of course they can probably like Replenish now. Sabos Web resolves. I'm gonna play Covetous Dragon this upcoming turn. I want to try to shorten the clock as much as possible. That's an interesting one for sure. Kind of excited about that one. Here's the dragon. What's my opponent gonna do? Intuition? They get Intuition for 3 replenishes, but like it doesn't really do anything. Parallax Wave would be quite annoying though. I guess we'll need to sack the Phoenix, which isn't super great. Sure. I'm gonna give them a wave. If they have Replenish, they have Replenish, of course. Not much I can do about it. Wildfire doesn't really do anything here either. They have Tide as well. Take my island. Ancient Tomb would be nice. Hey! Look at that. So let's serve. And I guess... So they sack 4 lands. They still have 4 mana though. I guess I just pass then? Let me play another island. Pass the turn. If my opponent wants to like take my island, that's probably okay. Sure, they do. I think they're just buying time right now. A Darker Waste. Impulse is, I guess, not super terrible. So let's Impulse. The problem with casting Wildfire that it actually stops my clock. Do I want to play Sky Diamond? Yeah, sure. Let's get another Sky Diamond there. Maybe I was supposed to take the Factor Fiction and sacrifice the Ancient Tomb. I don't think I want to sacrifice the Ancient Tomb though. Maybe I should have played the Shivan Reef, however. But I want to sandbag this bolt to be like, surprise, you're dead. So swing here, opponent takes it, play Thran Dynamo, Mana Leak. Yeah, sure. I mean, the Thran Dynamo isn't really doing anything. Let's see if we can dodge Opalescence for 1 more turn. And I guess we also want to dodge Replenish. I'm gonna sack that. Do we get it back on upkeep? I guess this is the turn that I want to Wildfire, actually. So we Wildfire this turn. This means we only sacrifice the Shivan Reef. And the reason to do this is now that it leaves my opponent slave of this Ancient Tomb. Slightly awkward because it gets rid of our 3rd red source for Shard Phoenix, but I think it's fine. I think I'm winning with this Lightning Bolt. And this Ancient Tomb is going to help me get there. Yep, there you go. 4 mana, Opalescence. Oof, the very last turn. So we're going to take 4. And then we have to dodge, I guess, Wave. Tuition doesn't really do anything, so let's Impulse, because if we find a Bolt, we just win. Mana Leak, Masticore. Actually, I'll take the Mana Leak, I think, right? Because, yeah, I take the Mana Leak. Because right here, it's pretty funny, like, because of the Lightning Bolt in my hand, which my opponent does not know about, this Mana Leak actually represents more damage. Like, if they replenish, then I just have them dead on board. So this is really funny. And they're also dead to this Covetous Dragon here. So the Masticore doesn't actually change anything. If they top deck Parallax Wave, we lose anyway. Or if we top deck, if they top deck Replenish. So actually taking the Mana Leak there is what can allow me to win. Exactly. Okay, this is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. So now they pay for Mana Leak because they have to. Otherwise, they just lose to the onboard dragon. That resolves. And now I just vault their face. Oh, this was great. That was awesome. Alright, so Anarchy we want, then Annuls, of course, and Furnaces. And do we want Rebs and Pyroblasts? Maybe? Sabba's Web comes out, Shard Phoenix. That's one thing that I have not been liking about this deck. The threat suite. Covetous Dragon is great, and then like Masticore and Shard Phoenix have been so bad. Phoenix kind of did some work there, but I mean, it's not great. And I know that we just got there with Lightning Bolts in this game, but I don't think they're good. Wildfire, I guess we maybe are forced to keep it in. Oh, Fire Ice we can let go. Miscalc, Mana Leak, maybe we want those. Would we rather have some number of Red Elemental Blasts? I guess so. And Shard Phoenix, and Masticore. So we only have 4 ways to end the game. This is a big problem. This is a huge problem, actually. Just don't have enough ways to win. That may force me to just literally hold on to this stupid Shard Phoenix. Man, it's so awkward. I really wish we had one more reasonable threat so that we could play like 6 copies of, or 7 copies of like an actually good way to win the game. We're on the draw, which makes counter magic worse, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna cut Wildfire. Although I guess Wildfire kind of, if they don't have Tithe, I guess I want all the Pyroblasts. And then we cut Impulse. Let's cut 1 Shard Phoenix. Let's cut a Thran Dynamo. What is this? I like this. We're gonna deal ourselves a lot of damage. Let's play Fire Diamond. And maybe I should have played Sky Diamond first, if my opponent wants to destroy it. 3 mana for attunement. So if they have the God Draw here, we're probably just screwed. This is nice though, that we just drew a Fire Diamond there. So now we can potentially Gush. They have Tithe. Sure, already have so much mana. That's a nice one. So I guess I'm just gonna play that one. Not give them the satisfaction. I'm still gonna play out the land, I guess. Because we can off into a null if we need it. They just do nothing and pass the turn. So they probably have intuition, huh? Could also have Mana Leak, but we cannot play around Mana Leak, so... I mean, we could by doing nothing for 3 turns. They do have the leak. Next turn. This one we're probably going to hold on to for a little bit. I would have loved to draw a Wildfire now. Okay, so now they intuition for like triple replenish, I guess. They do go for triple replenish. We're going to get to Anarchy, so we're not just dead in the water. Oh no, they have Tithe too. What am I saying? Of course we're dead in the water. No, we can just blow all the stuff. They do have infinite mana, so maybe they have more, but we'll see. 2 attunements, Tithe, and Wave. Yeah, that's fine. They're gonna attunement again. Frantic Search. So they're digging for Opalescence now. Just discarded 2 lands. No seals is big. Can I please throw a Wildfire? Because that would be pretty dang good here. Sure, Replenish. 3 mana for a Morph. That one we can blow up with Anarchy. I guess they can just hide it under the Wave. So I guess not really. Do I play another land is the question. I guess I'm going to play out the Catacomb. No, but then they exile it. No, but then all my lands come back, so it's fine. So I'm going to play the... Oh, they can exile now in response. That's pretty funny. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I actually did not think about this. Whoops. So we're going to send it back. We still have the other lands coming back now. And we did force a counter. Another white. Now they get the Angel. So we can't really Anarchy right now. Ugh, now we draw the Wildfire. Brutal. Let's play the Mountain and say go. Oh, I shouldn't have played the Mountain because I'm getting my lands back. That was a mistake. I guess I need to draw Covetous Dragon. So we can't actually do any tricks to end up killing this thing. So I just have to lead on Wildfire. Opponent draws cards. Interesting. Because they're going to try to counter this. Abeyance, Attunement, bunch of other cool stuff. And Mana Leak. Yep. Well, we can't Anarchy, so just going to die to this Angel. Notably, we can... If we had drawn a Covetous Dragon, then we could have gone Anarchy into Covetous Dragon. But, yeah, wasn't in the cards. Next, what do we have? My threats are so bad, man. I'm gonna probably just... Oh, I guess we can bring in Gilded Drake. Or the Exalted. No, but then my opponent has the Waves. Yeah, that just doesn't work out. Anarchy is the better answer, I think. This looks good, though. Seems like an okay draw. Land go. Gonna play probably Sky Diamond on 2 or Fire Diamond. Fire Diamond. Definitely Fire Diamond. Turn 1 expands, definitely confirms a turn to Ancient Tomb. Turn 2 Attunement. Alright, so there's this, and then there's this. Let's see what my opponent's got. So they lead on Attunement activation. 3 Attunements Opalescence. 2 Attunements Opalescence, I mean. They're just gonna Replenish right now. Guess it wouldn't really be that great. Seal of Cleansing, that's better for them. Just gonna pop him. So Replenish would be pretty bad for me. We're gonna pass the turn. Hoping for no Replenish one time. And I guess we also don't want to see Mana Leak, huh? What we definitely want to see is Gush. Gush would be sick. 3 mana for Morph. Attunement. Conveniently holding up Mana Leak mana. So I would love to see what? Red Blast doesn't really do it because we don't have enough red mana. Abeyance. Also annoying. Sure. Let's play the Shivan Reef and say go. We cannot really beat like Attunement Tide into Replenish into the combo, so I'm not gonna play around anything here. It's a pretty good Abeyance turn. No lands, notably. What to do here? I think I just play my land and say go. We could cast the Wildfire, but I don't think I can afford to. My opponent's threatening to go so over the top of what I'm doing. So I need to hold up Impulse to potentially like get some counter, like Rev or whatever. So because of that, I'm going to Impulse right now because we might find Elemental Blast. We can Foff or Gush. I'm gonna take Gush because it allows me to play around Mana Leak. Hey, look at that. Counter target a spell if it's blue. Looks like it's a blue spell right there. We do have to dodge here. We also have to dodge Mana Leak. So I don't think we're in good shape, to be honest. It's a Morph, which they could have played face up, but again, I think that they're playing around. Yeah, just have to Wildfire. I think they have a counter spell, but there isn't much that I can do anyway, so can just flip the angel too. We're gonna sack our lands, leave the mountain. And now we really want to draw the Anarchy here. I do suspect still that they have mana leak. It's very likely that it's not even good enough. Rev doesn't save me from mana leak, notably, because I only have 2 red mana. Alright, so now we can draw Anarchy. We've been drawing some Ancient Tombs over there. Covetous Dragon maybe does something. Fairness. I don't think that one does something. I can't really cast anything, so I'm just gonna play my land and say go. I'm gonna cycle it instead because I don't have enough time. Off. Yeah, I guess I have to counter that one. So whatever they're getting off of that Factor Fiction is so bad for me because lands are also bad for me. But now we just have to luck suck a little bit here. And instead I'm gonna cycle to take the Opalescence. Another Rev, and that's not good enough, unfortunately. Yeah, we seem to really struggle against the card Exalted Angel. Basically anything that makes it up to 5 toughness. And what really is the struggle is just closing the game. It's just not enough threats, I don't think. Especially when the cards like Masticore or the Phoenix are bad. So that's something that we may want to look into. Anyway, see you for the next round. Alright, on to run number 4. I guess I'm keeping this hand. We can interact on turn 1. Huh, Gush is interesting. I guess it's not, we already had a Gush. Never mind. Sable's Web. Are we playing against Replenish again? Ugh, vomit. Yeah, that's what it looks like. No lands. We're making progress at least. Yep, that looks like Replenish. Attunement. Just gonna Factor Fiction main phase. We need to hit land drops. Alright. I guess we're hitting land drops. That literally doesn't matter because we're going to discard anyway, right? So I guess my only way to not discard is to just like bolt them. The next turn we can Covetous Dragon. Maybe that does something. The problem is in this matchup we're 100% reliant on my opponent not getting there. Like there's nothing we can do. We can't really do anything about what they're doing. Opal Wave Cleansing. Do you have the Replenish? Frantic Search. They're looking for the Replenish. Another Opalescence. I mean, I guess if it doesn't make sense. If they don't have the Replenish, they just wouldn't have discarded. So obviously they have the Replenish. I don't even know what I'm saying. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so here's an all. Here are some Furnaces, some Power Blast Rebs, Anarchy. I guess I'm gonna bring in the Drake just because we literally have nothing to do. So we cut these. Probably got the Thron Dynamos. Shard the Phoenix suck. Cutting bolts on the Wildfire, I guess. No, I'm just gonna cut all the bolts. The problem is all my game plans just line up so poorly against my opponents. This hand looks okay. It's gonna take so much damage, but we're gonna do so much ramping. Here's a Fire Diamond. Passing of the turn. We definitely need a blue source here. Hey, look at that. Must be nice to be as good as I am. So I guess I'm just gonna Foff. I could also just Impulse. Foff uses my mana better. Yeah, I'm just gonna run into a counter spell. But if they counterspell this, that's one counterspell less for my Wildfire. So I think that's okay. There's the mana leak. And there's a dragon. Here we go. The clock is on. We do have a backup artifact, which is nice. Frantic Search. Main phase? Interesting. Attunement and Opalescence. Okay, let's swing. Let's Impulse here. Yeah, that's a nice pickup. Okay, this game is looking pretty good. So now we're gonna be able to counter whatever they play. Seal of Cleansing. I think I'm actually gonna counter this because I want to end the game. So we're just going to blow up all of their lands. Opponent concedes. Alright, maybe they sided out their Swords of Plowshares. On to game 3. At least both times we managed to take Replenish to 3, which is kind of more than I was expecting. This matchup sounds horrible. Okay, this hand is promising. We have the clock, we have the mana. That was a nice timely top deck. Annul. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. The intuition here I'm going to counter. They don't. Good. Get over here with your intuitions. Tied. Nah. Gonna have to counter that one. Mox Diamond is interesting. Do we YOLO here? I think I'm gonna YOLO. I guess we can also Gush. Yeah, let's just Gush first. It's a little bit too aggressive to go for Dragon and then just get destroyed by a Seal of Cleansing. But maybe... No, I regret it. Yeah, I should have gone for it. Yeah, I messed it up. I should have gone for it for sure. I should have messed it up. Alright, Gush. The honest way. Kill the Drake. It's gonna take some red mana from me. So mean. At least what this suggests is they don't have the other part of the combo, right? So I guess next turn, I would have loved to have found a freaking diamond there. Any variety. So Opalescence. We could Anarchy here. Wildfire. Well, I guess we cannot Anarchy, huh? How funny is it that I can just kill the Detroit this far like style? Oh, that's really funny. There's no way that's correct here, right? Nah. Just gonna take 8 damage from this stupid tide. At least next turn is coming back. Obviously, if they have wave here, we lose, but another tide. Interesting. Okay. So we may find Power Blast here. We're gonna be getting our lands back for a small amount of time. We may find Red Elemental Blast off of these simples. Yep, I guess I can't really afford to take 4 here. Gush is something. You just take Gush here? The other option is you just take the island. Yeah, I'll take the island. So we're down to 4. I probably should take one of my lands. Yeah, that's over. All right, I've seen enough with this one. Yeah, I don't think this matchup is winnable. A lot would need to change to make this matchup winnable, but as is, I don't think it's gonna work out for the good guys. Oh man, playing the last round against Fed, rough, pretty rough. I'm gonna keep this hand because it has, you know, some lands and some spells, but Tinder Wall? All right, he's cooking. Maybe we have a shot. Heals a multi 5. I don't know, whatever that Tinder Wall is threatening to do, I don't want to see any of it. Ancient Tomb. 3 mana for a Wall of Roots. Into a Sylvan Library. Jeez, pretty good. Man, I don't know. I guess I just hang out. Hold up Mana Leak. So he only takes 4. No idea what he's got going on over there. Wooded Foothills, Fetch, Survival. Yeah, it's not looking good for us. That's Impulse. Actually, maybe I should have bolted the Wall of Roots here, because that's going to give him 1 more activation. I definitely want Ancient Tomb. I need to get faster than this. We're being a little bit too slow. Miscalc is nice. So now we do this. We play out Fire Diamond. How I wish this entered untapped. But I think I need to remain a coward here and hold up Mana Leak. I may steal Impulse on end step, because we have to find the Wildfire. It's going to be hard to beat the Survival anyway. Pitches Hermit. Probably for Squee. And now that I see the Hermit, I'm going to just not kill this Wall of Roots. Because then if they play a Hermit, that's so much worse for me. Probably going to just Impulse on their end step. He does get another Wall of Roots. There's the mountain, so we're going to be seeing some anger shenanigans happening soon enough, I imagine. It's a bop. Can I see Wildfire? Good. So do I Wildfire here? If I Wildfire, then he's got no mana, and I have a Fire Diamond. I think I have to leave him with no mana, no mountains. It's pretty likely for him to find something though. Go gets anger, but the mountain's gonna get sacked, so I'm not super worried. But he's just clearing it from his deck. And also makes mana with bird. Now the bird makes mana, it's no longer summoning sick. Genesis too. The big issue that I see here is that I don't really know how we come back. Like this, we're not really on board here. Once again, like if I had access to a threat, we could have developed the threat and then gone from there. But instead, I'm in a spot where I'm not really going anywhere. Sure, I'm gonna be ahead on mana because I have like a Fire Diamond and my opponent doesn't have lands. But they have Slim Library and Survival. Like if they at any point they find the forest, we're screwed again. So and they're gonna get like 3+ looks every turn. Butcher Org. Oh, he's playing Sneak Attack. Now the Ancient Tomb makes sense. Okay, that's something. Last time he got, obviously it's a bird. So if they find a forest this turn, we're gonna be in pretty bad shape. If I manage to dodge this turn specifically, we can try to come back from that. Ancient Tomb. All right. Well, here's a island. Genesis is doing work, giving me some time. I'm surprised he didn't pay life. Definitely surprising. So now we're gonna cycle this Miscalc off. They found the green source. Now they can play through Mana Leak. Last card in hand is Squee, which is being pitched for what? Vigilante. Yeah, I guess I'm leaking that one. Am I supposed to bolt here? I guess I'm supposed to bolt. The only reason for that is because I need to find a land and I need to play something else, right? So now we have the dragon, which means I can, if I find the land, I can go Thran Dynamo, especially if I find Ancient Tomb. If I find Ancient Tomb, I can go Thran Dynamo into Factor Fiction. which may actually allow me to get back into this game. But now, I mean, this library, obviously, it's just too good. This damage that Freddy's taking from the Carplusen Forest is kind of a big deal. Yep, gonna pass a turn. Lightning Bolt is an interesting one because it restrains their mana quite a bit. My last Lightning Bolt, by the way. Sucks the wall. 4 mana for sneak. I know he's gonna throw one big dude at my face every turn. Yeah, I had like 1 or 2 turns there to draw a land and get something going, but probably gonna kill me faster than that now with the sneak. Phantom Nishoba. It's pretty good. Okay, seen enough. Had a window there to do something, but didn't quite get there. So I want Furnaces, I want Hibernation, and I think that's it. Pyroclasm kills Bird of Paradise and nothing else, right? I'll keep the Phoenixes, but definitely Masticore. Fire Eyes, probably worth it though. Lightning Bolt, same thing. Wildfire obviously is great. We have 4 cuts that we need to make. Guess I'm gonna cut the leaks. Miscalc, maybe a Thran Dynamo? The reason I don't like Thran Dynamo is when my opponent's bringing in like a bunch of naturalizes. I'm trading 4 mana for 2 mana. Maybe I need it though. I need the extra mana for like Masticore and stuff. Am I cutting Gush? Factor Fiction. I think I may just cut Shard Phoenix actually. I think I'm just gonna get rid of the Flying Boy. The play. Ancient Tomb. Alright. So we go turn 1 Tomb. Pass. Turn 2 Mox into Thran Dynamo. Turn 3 Covetous Dragon. Mountain. Play the island. Play Mox. Just gonna discard the Ross's Catacombs. That's actually kind of a great draw there. Allows me to go pretty wide here with a bunch of different artifacts. And my opponent needs to get rid of 3 artifacts before my dragon dies. Definitely need to find something here though. This is very much a clock, however. So let's play Thran Dynamo into Dragon. And now let's draw Wildfire. So this is kind of what we want to do, right? This game is looking a lot better than the previous one, I think. Now our mana is very much online. We have plenty of lands. Definitely holding the mountain is correct here because we could draw Masticore, we could draw like a bunch of different things. So they did draw the sneak. So now we need to do something here. So let's lead on Impulse. Do we just get Masticore? I think so. And we just have to try to race. Because now we have, I guess we don't actually have lethal, never mind. But it makes my my opponent's Ancient Tomb dead because we can bring them down to 1. Activate Sneak, Symbiotic Worm. Okay, totally fine. So now we regenerate. And they're holding up Naturalize. So I think we chill. Because I could kill one of the tokens on end step. Actually, let's think. He fetches. Okay, so I can kill 5 of these tokens. That's not enough. So I'm just gonna untap. So it's possible my opponent has a flyer. Honestly, I have no idea what deck they're playing. So I think I'm just gonna swing with the dragon. It's possible they have a flyer they can sneak in, and I'm just swinging into death. But I don't think I'm winning by just hanging out. So I need to start to close the clock. So now we hold up a bunch of mana, and we have the Masticore as a blocker. End step, he puts in Squee. My opponent's mana situation sounds not ideal. Okay, looks like they found no creatures. No swinging either. So let's ping this one, ping the other one. Yeah, I got pretty lucky there that the one card they have is the one that Masticore is particularly great at dealing with. So now Squee dies, we untap, definitely paying upkeep, and gonna kill these dudes, and then swing with both. Spolt is also nice. It may be able once again to sneak something into play, but can't really do much about that. Nicole Bolas, do you have something else? Vigilante. So I could bolt the Vigilante right now. I could double ping. I think it's better to bolt. And he concedes. Okay, last game. Now we're gonna be on the draw. Do we want Pyroclasm on the draw? Again, it only kills Birds of Paradise. I think I'd rather have Fire Eyes. Maybe Hibernation is too slow on the draw. I don't really like the alternatives though. I guess a Mana Leak instead of Hibernation. This is a hand. Sure, I will keep this. My opponent has a bunch of very threatening enchantments, and the fact that I can answer them makes me pretty happy here. I think my second land's gonna be a Mountain. We're definitely gonna annul that one. It's a nice pickup. Good one to have. The bird, another land, another library. Thran Dynamo. Gonna go with that one. So now we get, oh, that's a nice pickup. Yeah, this is a very solid. That was very, very nice. So now we're going to be able to go next turn Wildfire, then play a land. And all we need to do at that point is find a threat or a draw spell. So let's see what my opponent's going to do here. Naturalize my Dynamo. All right. I think I'm going to play my land and pass the turn. So the reason to do this, I'm going to FOF on his end step. And then next turn I can just go Wildfire into play my land. 5 mana Genesis. So we're going to FOF, Power Blast. All right. So now with Wildfire. There's even an argument there to just chill for maybe one more turn. Maybe I should have played the mountain and sack it to hold on to the island instead, because now I don't have blue mana. Yeah, that was a mistake. Let's hope to not be punished by that mistake. And we're not punished by that mistake, just like we drew it up. Let's see, what do we want to draw here? Another Factor Fiction. That's my best draw here. It's a nice pickup too. So now we're holding up Mana Leak in style. It's not paying life. All right, still no land. And I draw anything of relevance before it's too late. Another land. This is a survival. It's getting an old Wall of Roots. Also getting counted. Because we're not going to be able to double spell blue sources, right? Holding on to that one for Masticore. But now we're getting to the point where it becomes awkward, because now the Genesis is actually going to do work. So we need to draw something. We need to draw a Furnace. We need to draw a Factor Fiction. Counter the survival. And draw a blank. It's not ideal. Not ideal. Another Wildfire would even be decent. Also, I tapped like garbage. I tapped my blue mana for no reason. Should have just tapped the Thran Dynamo. Lightning Bolt. They didn't get back with Genesis. Interesting. Octavio Orangutan. Sure. Can we draw Wildfire, please? Sky Diamond. More mana is good. I'll take more mana. Again, I'm trying to get to Masticore. My best draw is, however, another Wildfire. City of Solitude resolves. I'm gonna take 2 from that. I don't love to see that. Don't love another mountain. Once again, we find ourselves in a spot where, yeah, we're not really doing much. Like, we put ourselves in a spot where we could get going, but we just spun our wheels a little bit too much, took too long to actually get the game over with, and then now we are just behind. Like, we need to draw Wildfire right now. Otherwise, I think we're just gonna die to the sneak attack. So, Covetous Dragon. Ugh. So maybe they don't have a threat. Seems unlikely. Maybe, just maybe they don't have a threat. But I feel like this is exactly one turn too late. I mean, there are some threats that I don't care about. Like Symbiotic Worm would just leave me at 1, which is fine. Nicole Bolas, I guess I just bolt face and hope that he doesn't have a bird to chump block. Notably, he did not get back the bird right there. Makes a mana with wall. If this is survival, he can just go get Nishoba, which he showed me, and Nishoba would be good enough, I think. Because that just, yeah, I think this just gets him out of bolt range. Squeeze, now with lethal threat too, which is hilarious. Dragon Tyrant, Flying Trample Double Strike. So this is actually lethal. So I need to bolt the Octavi. Oh, because I cannot bolt the Octavi. I forgot about City of Solitude. Yeah, that's much better. Dragon Tyrant. Man, I feel like we were so close. But anyway, not particularly great, but that was fun though. All right, there you go. Thank you so much again, Phil, for the donation to play the deck. Notes. I feel like the threat suite just doesn't cut it. They're very awkward and they are bad in certain matchups. And when you just take too long to close the game. That was basically the issue we had every single game, right? Like every game that we lost was... I mean, some of them were because of the mana, but like we ended up with way too much mana. And then we cast the Wildfire, and then we were in a situation where we just did not have anything to do. We like turn after turn would go by, and then we didn't draw anything. We didn't draw a Factor Fiction. We didn't draw a Gush. So then slowly but surely our opponents like started to get back into the game. They just drew cards, and then they undid all the work that the Wildfire did. And this is why it's so tough, because Covetous Dragon is perfect. Like this card just works out so well with Wildfire. It's also like so clean that it goes like 5 into 6. So I feel like if this deck could play maybe 8, 9 Covetous Dragons, I feel like we could have something going. Because that is the big problem. The problem is like we can only play 4. So we are stuck playing suboptimal threats that don't really do what we want them to do. This doesn't close the game quickly. And this is just 2 mana intensive. We don't really have particularly great ways besides Foff and Gush to recoup the card advantage, to keep the Masticore alive. We're just pulled in so many different directions, and it's so awkward that I don't know if, unfortunately, the Premodern card pool allows for this deck to exist and be competitive, which is very sad because I think that the Wildfire is a sweet card. But unfortunately, I feel like because of the power level of the format, I don't know if you can find a way to make this competitive. It is one thing, like even that last matchup, right? Like they playing like a bunch of dorks and stuff like that. That's kind of like the matchup that we want to be facing. Yet we did the thing, and because our opponent kind of forced us to do the thing, we did the thing. And then when we had the Covetous Dragon, it was great, right? Like we were in a spot where we could, like game 2, we could actually close the game fairly quickly. But when we did the thing without the Covetous Dragon, we just could not get there in time. Like our opponent was able to crawl back into the game. And I feel like this is something that's going to happen with basically every deck that we face, because we only have 4 copies of Dragon and 4 copies of Wildfire. So we are building around these cards, and we're trying to hope to get there. And Impulse, honestly, Impulse did a very, very good job at doing so. I don't think that it's enough, especially when it's a threat that, yes, it's very good for the deck, but also like gets Swords to Plowshares and stuff. It's not even the rest of the deck. Like the rest of the deck is actually great. Like I do like the innovation of adding blue is very good. The random like leaks and miscalc did some pretty good work. Even the lightning bolts, which felt pretty random when I looked at the deck list, they kind of did something. And even the Mox Diamond was great. Like your suggestion of running Mox Diamond was actually very good. Like it worked out very, very nicely as a one-off. The mana base it was a little bit awkward at times, but for the most part it worked out. But yeah, the threat suite, I feel like that's the bottleneck. Maybe Crater Hellion. Crater Hellion is like the only card that I'm like, maybe this can do what we want it to do. I'm skeptical. I'm very, very skeptical that Crater Hellion is what you were hoping for. That Echo is just so brutal, but it is kind of what we want, right? Like it's a threat that can survive the Wildfire, and it comes into play, it wipes the board. Like all of those are nice things that we can do. Also, as we saw, we have a very, very big issue with Exalted Angel. We kind of lost to every Exalted Angel that we played against. We got extremely lucky against Black Control. My opponent should have probably won, honestly. Like the chances that they never find an Eternal Dragon or Exalted Angel in like however many turns they had, like it's crazy. Or like 80 degrees, sorry. It's crazy. Like we got like way too lucky. We should not have won that game either. Unfortunately, like this threat suite, it just doesn't close the game quickly enough, and it's not easy enough to set it up. We didn't even get paired against Terravor. I don't even know how you would beat a Terravor deck. Like I cannot envision what would need to happen for you to beat a Terravor deck. Sure, like Kill the Drake is here for that reason. Same thing with Hibernation. Like these are obviously, I'm not telling anybody anything that it isn't particularly obvious, but these holes in the deck are something that I'm not sure how you can overcome. The mana side was actually what impressed me the most. This worked out better than I expected. I was expecting it to be like just super clunky and just not really work out, but it actually did. So I do like this aspect. I feel like this is fairly straightforward, and it looks good. The Impulses, Fofus, Gush, these were kind of like the card that I wanted to draw all the time. The Sabbath's Web, I know that it's here to enable Covetous Dragon, but maybe it should be something else. Mindstone I could see too, but I don't know how to solve it. If you want to keep playing the deck, Phil, I think that maybe Crater Hellion is something that you want to try, but I'm honestly not sure where else to bring it, because you would need to like go deep, and even something like Karn, it could be like the 5 mana Karn. Maybe that's better, because that would actually be like a threat that you can play and you can close the game quickly. I mean, it doesn't survive Wildfire, but you know, it is what it is. Like you need a way to close the game. I do hope that you solve it, because Wildfire is such a sweet card. But that's gonna be it for me today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye bye.